Hey everyone, my name is Sara Ivey. I currently volunteer at the Wiregrass Museum of Art as well as First Saturday Family Day, and you may have seen me in there a couple times. I'm also a graduate of Troy University's Fine Art program, as well as I'm also an art educator now. So I'm just going to be walking you through a simple process with this video about lighting, shadows, and shading. I'm going to also be showing you that through painting. So let's just jump right in. My light source is actually coming from this direction where my flashlight is on this side, and you can see the shadow right here. So as I move my flashlight across over the top of the apple, you can see the shadows are starting to kind of, they're not showing as elongated, they're not showing as defined. That's because if you think about noon and how at noon outside you don't really see your shadows. So one thing that you have to keep into consideration is definitely where your light source is coming from. So as you can see, when I start moving it, you can see the light source is changing how my shadow moves, as well as where the light is coming from. And this is just a really good rule of thumb of trying to figure out where you want your light to come from in your paintings or drawings. Okay, so before I actually start painting, I wanted to show you where my light source is going to be on this drawing. I quickly drew it out so that you would have an example of different objects that would show lighting and shadows as well as shading. And I'm going to show this through painting. I have some different colors right here. So I mix my colors. So I use blue, yellow, red, white, and Payne's gray, which is not technically completely black. So I try to stay away from complete black paint in my paintings because it doesn't look as natural, especially on organic things. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my lighter areas, which will be this way, because my light source is actually going to be coming from this direction, and this is where my shadows are going to be. You're going to see my shadows on the opposite end of the fruit that I have on this painting. So I'm going to go ahead and mix some green. And then I'm going to start applying, because this is a green apple, I'm going to start applying some lighter colors over on this side, since this is where most of my light is going to be coming from. Of course, as you layer paint, you can definitely get a different effect. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how the darker color is going to be on this side. I'm going to add a little bit of that Payne's gray to it. Just to make sure that I get a darker shadow falling on this side as compared to this side, because that's where my light is. And I'm going to make sure that I blend my paint with my paintbrush. I'm also going to add a little bit of yellow to that as well, because I don't really like my lighting to be completely just a neutral white. I'd rather have a little bit of yellow to it. so before I end this video, just wanted to point out a few things. So what I was doing throughout the whole process was definitely looking at where my shadows and where my light falls on different objects. So since my light comes this direction, as you can see on my fruit, I have lighter sections coming from this side. And then on this side, I have my shadows. And I hope you enjoyed this video.